towards construction there, but a shot is found and it's the head of Alfred that is deleted out of the round inside of Secret there forever.
Still being contested quite heavily as another kill does get dropped onto Evan. It's going to be another kill. 3v5 is just looking worse and worse. Oh my god, what a shot from Forever. A one-tap just to finish it off. Does he get another? Yes, he does. A quad kill. Will he be able to finish it off? We've seen 3 aces that could not be finished by a quad.
I don't see much of a follow-up from Blue Jays. Only now Cassie is walking in. And well, Nuxus, he just sits there like a nugget, just watching them, picking them all up. Oh my lord!
He still himself. He does need that HP, but Solar jumps in. Oh, doesn't expect the cars to be there. But skill is just raining in. Matto inside. Now in a 3v3 situation. Plan going down. What is happening? Jolan gets another one as in a 3v2 situation. Oh, Zakari trying to get up the Solarium stairs. Shot down. Zakari now in a 1v2 situation. He finds Sledge first. But really tough position as both players know where he is. But he gets one now in a 1v1 situation. 30 seconds.
Which is not going to be successful. You heard a trick. I don't know if it was a trick that went off there. I don't know how it was prevented, or maybe someone shot it off, but Alfred was going to at least find one back. That's Forever dealt with, and the pressure from that ash coming in from construction is shut down. And now Raphael going in towards the doorway there, though, but somehow Alfred is able to return fire and gets the shot here off, gets the kill. Baba now is left. Can't quite find the players. They don't have the information, and surely the defenders have the information that they have in Fusion and Gas. They do. Alfred with the triple.
Would be the kind of the point.
I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my black.
Hello and welcome back to Talent League, and it's going to be an exciting one. Of course, I was just on my own, but I'm going to be joined by the wonderful, the one and only Squishy.
Hello. Obviously, I've got my wire, so hello! I'm here back at Talent League. I've just been on another league, so I've had to hop in. My camera's all a bit wonky. Obviously, I'm here with anywhere, yeah, maybe over there. No, I'm pointing, I think. I don't know which way. But obviously, I'm here. We are playing Agents of Gosdep. We can work on that name together.
Yep.
But obviously, Gosdep. But obviously, Team Invictum on the other side, and you know, I have my wonderful entrance. Just turn the lights a bit more normal, so I'm not like the size of. Obviously, you know more about this than I do. I've just come off of watching Team Secret, dominate in a
Just
T4
make sure to
league,
get that
which
now.
is very interesting.
Just make sure to slip that secret reference in there. Yeah.
Just fit it in right there.
That just so happened to be, didn't I? Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to go into it or anything, but like, you know.
Anyway, back on track. We're seeing Team Invictum versus Agents of Gosdep, and it should be a fun game. At least we've just came off the back of some cafe plays. We're going to be at least going to somewhere different and a bit more strat heavy. Let's be honest. It's Clubhouse. We're usually used to seeing Clubhouse Oregon, these type of maps. Don't really usually see a cafe in best.
I just watched Clubhouse. I mean, I just watched Oregon.
Well,
Falls.
so you're going straight in that Clubhouse one. So just follow on it right away. But Team Invictum starting an attack, defense for Agents of Gosdep, and we'll certainly have a look at where we're going. I think we're pretty much ready to go. We're pretty much ready to go. Bands are ringing out.
I'm not surprised at all. I mean, the barn is just, one of those. It's Clubhouse. So good on counting that impact tracking on Kitchen. And obviously just finding so many angles because, again, on like, let's say a team, I want to say misclicks and PlayCC, worst side on this map. Not even going to have an argument about it. It's God terrible side on this map. But let's say they're playing down, so like with Habana, you can also get Church where you don't need an ace of thermite. Get Church where you can get dirt, you can get all hatches. So much you can do with Habana and so many angles you can make. And CC having, as you said, like kind of strat heavy. It's just like one of these maps where everyone knows how to play it at the back of their hand. Everyone knows the angles. Everyone knows the little peaks. Bullet holes as they used to be. Everyone goes in depth. Obviously, AOG. Are you I've just seen a console. Do you spectate with a console?
I think I think he expected a controller, probably not.
Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, control not console.
Yeah, so much easier. So much easier to spectate. I've produced quite a few times, and doing it with controllers makes it so much easier than doing it with a keyboard. Yeah, AOG, Invictum, we're getting started, and of course the picks just coming just through now, and there's a couple of spicy picks in there. The Thorn getting through, the Soul is coming as well as the Pulse, so it's not your traditional church setup. I don't know what you think about that, but it's a little bit different.
I like it.
much insight there.
No, I like it. Me too. I'm finishing my pizza.
Yeah,
obviously, it was not the same as what Team C are doing. But obviously, I love seeing Pulse. Yeah, Pulse is so underrated. Doc being brought up, obviously no ACOG on him, as if he did have ACOG, I would be playing R6, 1,000 hours a week. Because that really was the good old times. Obviously, did you play R6 back when that was a thing?
I certainly did. Yeah, I've been playing for the full 8 years. I've been
8
here
years,
yep, the full time, unfortunately. Or
How old are you?
fortunately, depending on how you look at it.
70 years old?
Don't say it like that.
70? 80?
I'm only 25. I'm still young.
That's ancient. That's ancient. That's
Anyway.
ancient Egypt.
We have a game to cast. We're not here to discuss my age. 2 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. And we discussed the Pulse here. Pulse is nice to be on the board as well. Like seeing a wee bit of Pulse play. Love a bit of Flores play as well. It's nice to see Flores getting some love. Of course, those drones are so crucial when it comes to the shields. Reinforced hatches need to stock as well, so someone's going to have to come in and deal with that. There is plenty hard breach, though. Of course, you've got the thermite on side if you do need it, but they're just going to pop into stock for a little bit, tease the push towards lounge, and instead just going to drop back. Knew there was someone around that area, and they're just going to go and assist their teammates on the other side of the map. And of course, you've got that angle being held to the bottom of the main stairs to make sure that no one can rotate through, and the drones will come through to get the information to see where they want to go for this execute. And they've got the buck on side, so they've got plenty of that vertical available, and they're just going to begin doing that in a moment inside the kitchen, making sure these angles are opened up. And that is exactly what we're going to be doing for Sir Pega. Just trying to find as much of an opportunity to find any free kills in Arsenal, and it's actually going to be them who falls as Geico just pops himself a couple of shots through the hatch and finds ahead of Sir Pego, and that's the buck dealt with easy as you like, and just heads back to their wee corner inside the site.
Not what you're looking for on an attack going one man down. I mean, it's just... I saw it when I was casting, last game. I say it like every time I cast. If you get the man advantage, right, you're just gonna be falling, those early times. Sorry. And with man advantage, there's just one less angle you have to worry about from Team Invictum. And on attack, you need these angles to cover these AOG aggression. And that being said, I'm just gonna go with Onara. We'll find a Pashy, and a Pashy, no more Flores Jones he's gonna be using anytime soon. Line EED goes out. Pressure Django with a shotgun up close. He might find a pick. This is naughty for him. Shock and Alpha working together. But again, he's safe and sound. Proxic does find Onara. There's the pulse getting refragged off. One C4 gonna be down the drain, and obviously that cardiac sender, nothing more of it. Oh, the jump over! Django, there's your opportunity, and you lost it. Alpha's able to capitalize in 3 versus 3. Very close now as Invictum have pulled back from this downslide which they were in. Highway getting pushed back. That'll be bot. And then, oh no, it's not looking good. Geico finds double. Obviously, speaking of C4s, I mean, I told you the C4's just too good on the site, even without a pulse. Geico triple kill, kills off Alpha. These names are really catching me off guard. But apart from that, they have it. First round, safe and sound.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was going to go a bit haywire there inside the dirt. Django missing a massive opportunity with the shotgun, just loses out with the double up inside the dirt, and it looked as though it was going to be a little bit chaotic end, but somehow the defenders just able to land a couple of good shots. C4 coming through as well. You mentioned the double C4. It does help with the round. That is that one first. The first one locked off, and of course we're going to go to CCTV and Cash as the second defense. So that's the bottom floor done. Church and Arsenal has been defended. AOG are in the lead with 1 round, and things are going to have to change up a little bit though. Of course, CCTV is a pretty difficult site to hold on to. Of course, you do have that main breach that opens up and cuts the site in 2, and that makes everything that much harder to play against. And we're going to stick this pulse pick. It seems as though they have an idea for this, and they want to play off of the intel that is brought along with the pulse on side of Anara. Doc as well though. Doc's an interesting one. Don't see it often. What do you think of that one?
As I said, I mean, Doc has always been up there as one of my favourites. But obviously, when now it's worked out, I mean, Thunderbird's an option. You might like MB5. Again, Malusi's there. I mean, I don't know if it's just the 1.5. In my opinion, I prefer Hollow over 1.5. I don't know, like, Hollow ACOG is always I'm always used to that. I'm not going to turn down on 1.5 if, let's say, I'm on, like, Legion or Oryx, I'll always take it. But in, how I like to play with, I'm kind of like sometimes I want to be Shaiko, so I just slap on the Hollow, and I'm just used to that kind of play, and this 1.5, as for Anara, it just doesn't work out. It's like you can't decide between an ACOG and a Hollow. Just choose one of them. But obviously, every op has Hollow, and nothing has ACOG anymore apart from the Bosch G. And again, I know it's OP, but who's playing that?
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. You see an arrow getting dropped off of the board there. Just lost engagement there. Just didn't quite react in time to get the kill. Yep, just fell away. And that's a C4 gone. So that's the pulse gone. Any opportunity to play off of that is gone as well. And that could be a crucial pick to start off this round. Remember, it is, of course, CCTV that we're going for the defense. But there's quite a bit of inroads being made in towards that site already. You have the hold inside of office and all the way through construction. You can see that the attackers just streaming into that side of the map. The west side is pretty much all theirs. And they're not even entertaining the idea of going towards garage. But the bandit trick comes through. That's one of the thermite charges gone. And now things look a little bit spicy when it comes to that, but they have the Heartbeat gadget should they need it. Apache has that on side, and now the second thermite charge will be dispatched onto the wall, but not quite yet. They're just going to hold off a little minute, just while they get rid of that bandit charge. And now there's a couple of kills to come out as Sarpega's able to get himself a double kill on the round as Django finds that refrag as well. And now it's a 2 versus 4 scenario as things just start to drop away here. Shock finds Geico, and the defenders are looking up against it now as these attackers now push towards that construction and cash side. The young Candelas goes through, but Django catches them with the Candela in the hand, and it's not looking ideal for that push now as the Candelas are all gone and the push is slowed in its tracks. A minute left now and things are just going to lull up a little bit as the attackers try to regroup and re-decide what they're going to go for, and they're just going to stop, pause and just wait, and they're going to have to make a decision now as Proxic is able to find Tails from the bot and Django now in a 1 versus 3 scenario, and they're still stalled out inside the construction. They've not got into towards site yet. They're not pushing yet. They're still not being able to get the wall open. So Django's actually still in a decent position here. It has a good hold on top of red staircase. 40 seconds left on the clock. The wall is now finally open. The drone will come in and at least find the information onto Django and seems to want to be sticking with the secondary. Of course, has a shotgun on the primary there, and it's a pretty interesting choice to take that on Thorn, who has a decent
ace?
Main gun, I was just about to say there, a triple kill. Is able to get himself on for the ace, and Django drops another one, and it's not Alpha and Shock have to get into towards sight because there's 20 seconds on the clock. But here comes the shotgun. The diffuser has to go down at some point, though.
Where's the diffuser?
It's a quad. What's happening, Squishy? Oh my word! He has it in his hand. He's ready to go. He's gone for the ace, but can't find it. It's Shock with a final kill, and Invictum take the round on the attack.
I've got so much to nitpick. First of all, defense, when you died, none of you went on cams. Not even the first one you died. That's really annoyed me there. I know I'm being a bit of a twat, but yeah, just go on cams when you're dead. I mean, got a big up Geico and Squat, actually the only one who went on cams. Honestly, Inara, silly death. I mean, you're playing Pulse, that's like, just stay safe. Stick yourself in basement, wait for the C4s. But again, big mistake picking CCTV and Cash, the worst site on club. But in Invictum, they didn't even play it well. They had the buck. They went for the vertical from, I know they won the round, but I'm just really on smoke today. But they had that bug. They played for the beneath. They played for the vertical. They had the bandit tricking. Yes, they had the bandit tricking. They got bandit tricked. Proxic, tell your bug to go beneath and get rid of that bandit. Yeah, it might be a person. Oh, you might risk dying. Mate, 3 doors. He's stuck in stock. You just hold the angle. You kill him. You pinch him at the same time. None of you die. Maybe a bullet to the chest. You just trade off. Buck stays alive. The best thing to do on CC, and the reason why it's the worst site, is you can use ace and thermite to your advantage. You can breach. Let's say you can even open garage door. That's enough. You open the garage door, you walk. The threat that an attacker is going to go through garage door, or there's someone at the garage door, is enough for AOG to keep your eyes on garage door. Garage breach, another opening. If you take that vertical, you have to worry about red stairs and inner garage stairs. That being said, they did go for that cash breach with proxy did later on the round, but still got bandit trick. Take stock, they're doing it right now. Butt goes beneath, that's the whole point. You clear out all of cash, and you clear out all the bandit charges and all possibility of bandit tricking. You know, there's nades, shock, let's use them. And that's why I think, I mean, obviously they won the round. You know, I betted on Team Invictum on winning this, but it's just a bit poor. But obviously, I'm on a bad mood. Squirt will find the C4, and finally, you know, C4s will go in the way. I think with the help of Onara's cardiac sensor as the pre-placed, as the sound call, was just enough for that.
Yeah, just heard in our producer's ears that it's pronounced sayonara. Yeah, that actually makes a lot more. That makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense. Vertical nades coming in from Stog, trying to find anyone lurking inside the cache, but no one's going to be that silly this early on. They're just going to be moving around at top of red and towards that CC area now. But downstairs though, on sayonara is going to catch. It's not alpha, not quite paying attention to the potential danger to come up from beneath, and now things are not looking too good for the attackers as they've dropped into a 3 versus 5 situation, but quite a bit of damage done on the Geico downstairs inside of the bar area. Shock is the one to find that, and Sayonara takes a little bit of damage as well, trying to find the player inside that main lobby area, just coming from bar, but not able to find them as of yet though. Tries to bait out the push coming through from Stock, but he's able to dash across. Somehow he's been able to give it back to Secret and downstairs, and it's a bit of a funny one as he's able to move around and not quite able to find the player. Shock, and the cardiac sensor is trying to find its mark and find any information that's inside of office and construction that could be fed back to their opponents, and that's exactly what they're going to do. C4 in pocket, it's going to be sent up and it's going to find someone from below. As Sayonara says that exactly that to Apache, and it's a 5 versus 2 scenario. Shock and Proxic left with it all to do for the attackers of Invictum.
I'm just clapping. I mean, and Sayonara, this is your impact which you make. 2 kills because of you. Make that 3, right? 3, well, even 4 kills. You got 3 kills from self, and then Bandit's kill. 4 kills, all because you stayed alive. And even Invictum, their attacker, you know, my grandma could have executed better. But I mean, like the impacts one person can have from, you know, making silly deaths first round is huge and massive. And Shock's left alive. I mean, he is quite shocked himself. Oryx running around the building from the outside, and I mean, might as well save his KD because it's all he's got to him. Geico finds a lovely shot and a flawless round, and that is just, I don't know how Shock gets caught off there, but obviously a flawless round apart from that team kill, and that's what you expect from a defensive side when the attack make those silly mistakes and AOG just capitalize on them.
Yeah, the pulse was played to perfection there. We've seen it the round before. It was killed off really early, trying to go for a spawn peak, and that time we've seen exactly how impactful it can be. It gathered so much information. You mentioned that they gathered it for the bandit to get themselves a pre-placed kill. It was so easily done. That's both the C4s found a mark inside that round. The round before that, they weren't able to utilise them. It did bring it back, of course, but they eventually lost that 1v1 in terms of the clutch. But much better round, much better defense there from AOG, and I'm a bit more impressed in the way that they played that. And I'm still quite surprised at how often we're seeing this Thorn brought along with the shotgun. It's definitely a bit of a peculiar setup. I don't know how you feel about that one.
One specific.
One
specific.
What do you mean?
In the setup.
For Thorn?
No.
I have no idea what you just said. But
we have to really go in depth here. You know,
you
we
want
have to
specific?
really analyse defensive side here. Just think in the minds of Django at the moment.
Django.
Just think in the mind of Geico as he goes for the spawn peek and die by the person right opposite him. Just think of the mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking. But obviously Django, I mean, you know, he had that chance last time with, you know, that shield, and obviously it was perfectly played. He had the shield there, so they jump over, they walk into your C4, and like I predict in the future, Geico nearly dies, and obviously my brain's just too big. As Geico will be forced back to site as, you know, finally Doc gets used to perfection. But again, Thunderbird's just, you know, I want to say the better choice, but with Doc's massive buff, you might as well use him to your advantage. But as I was saying, as you asked me about, you know, setup, I mean, Django had the right idea. He's been playing extremely well on the secondary weapon, which I can't even see enemies when they peek me because the iron sight is just outrageously bad. But if he's able to just clean up his, you know, his shotgun aim and just play a bit more I don't want to say safely because he just sit behind the shield, but just play a bit more with caution.
Yeah, and I think he's heard you at least because he's not playing in dirt anymore. He's just moved up towards the armory side, and I think that's purely because there's no one really pushing that side anymore. They're really just going for the full clear, going from the top floor, the same as before. They're going to try and get themselves down towards the kitchen.
Oh,
and
his
start
shield's not in
beginning that.
dirt. No, his shield isn't dirt.
No, he wasn't playing dirt. Was something. He came back to armory because there's no one really pushing dirt. So he came back for a minute, teased us, and then he went back in, and he seems to be a bit back and forwards because no one's really going to go for dirt. There's no open dirt at the minute. They're just going for the vertical play, ledge, but usual stuff as we see. C4 has already went out from Sayonara, didn't find anyone. Squirt still has another one though, so it is available to try and find a kill with that. And hopefully we can see some link-up play from Sayonara, who's just looking to try and peek onto the bottom of the staircase. Doesn't realise there's a player. The siege timing takes quite a bit of damage, not aware of the fact that there is a player there. But of course the Doc, your favourite operator, is here to save the day. 5 versus 4 as that C4 finds its mark onto Shock, and the nades now sing it in from above from that hatch inside a moto to find anyone inside of Church who could be near that door, and another one's going to go through. It's Proxic to lead the charge in towards it, but there's an angle being held from Blue and one on close on the door. Proxic wins it out versus Geico, and now it's a 4 versus 4 situation. It's even the odds, 44 seconds left on the clock. And Proxic's just going to stall a bit, wait and see if anyone swings him. No one's going to take that chance just yet. 4-3 now as Sayonara's able to find another one. It's our Penga that's gone, and Apache finds Sayonara at the same time, and 3 versus 3 seems as though Proxic is on the board just here to try and even the odds at all times. As it's not Alpha moves through towards Memorial, and and Tales from the Bot is downed and dealt with as it's not Alpha's found that one. Pushing through in towards Church. 1.5 in hand. I know you're very critical of the 1.5, but Django now is downed on the other side. It's not Alpha going for the defuse, but it's Apache to close it out onto Django, and that's it done for this round. The defenders are not able to put up anything really convincing at all as the attackers are able to run away with that one, and that is an even the odds situation. 2-2 on this scoreboard.
Yep, and obviously even as it is on Clubhouse, it's just one of these maps where, you know, everything goes to the very last straw, possibly overtime we're seeing in the future, and obviously AOG think they could have possibly won that round. I mean, they had the lovely C4 kill, but again, they're just not taking advantage of the impact tricks on the site. I mean, your partner's off the board. The whole point is to impact trick on the site, and it's just a bit upside down. I think AOG have the right mindset. You know, they plan for the right thing, but I think maybe they're just been a bit rushed in the voice channel. I think it's just not as smooth as they want it to be. It's a bit on and off as you said, Django's going back and forwards. But I think Invictum, I think they could have just done it better if they let at least Pega bring the Heartbreak charge. You can open up Blue and Blue hatch and Dirt. So that just worries the defenders that more angles to come from, because Invictum, they're on attack. Make the angles. The whole point of R6 and the reinforcements. Reinforce. It's reinforced to be broken. I think that's a saying. I don't know. Maybe it's like in non-R6 way. That's a saying of saying that in a non-Rainbow Six Siege related. But they're there to be like, it's like rules. They're there to be broken. And Invictum are not taking this for advantage. They see a reinforcement and they're scared of it. Like, look, Alpha, he's scared of it. It's not gonna bite you. Like, it's just Invictum. They clean up that round in 2-2. It's looking like it will be, as I said, very close gamers. Ace has brought along Sayonara. Watch the round go to pieces. A man advantage in the hands of Invictum. They won't let it go to waste. This team knows how to capitalize upon it. And Sayonara, when you're alive, you had 5 kills to your name.
Yep, it's just unfortunate the way that plays out. Tries to be a little bit too aggressive too early on and just falls short. And that's the C4 gone. That's the pulse gone. And this is where things could be really detrimental for the defense here. And I've really felt like this has been the defense's game to lose, because the attackers have been pretty one-dimensional. They've pretty much shown their cards. It's not been too difficult. You mentioned that they should maybe go for an attack side from Blue at the same time. They should maybe open up a couple of hatches and have a few avenues of attack. That hatch is soft inside the kitchen, Squishy. What's going on here? No one's even bothered to put a reinforcement, at least to stall them out a little bit, and they get it for
it's
free.
It's not like Invictum are going to break it anyway, let's be realistic. Like,
you mentioned the impact tricks and no one's even going for anything. Really, nothing's really happening with it.
I think it's VC problems. I think just maybe, obviously I'm saying that as if I know what's happening in the VC. I think just, you know, obviously they're a bit lacking behind, and obviously just having that hatch. I mean, I say they're not going to break it. That's just me being sarcastic. Obviously they're going to open that and take the advantage. Smoke's going out, and I mean, an execute is going to come in that 1 minute 10, 1 minute 5 mark. That's when we see people really getting in here. But early from Sir Peg, he will get caught off guard. I mean, he's in a sticky situation. Stuck here. He's got cameras left, right, and centre. And if he can walk up highway, he will go for the ballsy play. Oh, he got in the bag. One's double. One's blue. One's the hard right, and 2 in blue. That's a free kill. You can't allow this to happen. Sir Pagan, you have Maestro comes for you. Geico, he goes AFK. He doesn't even need it anymore. But we'll find 2 kills, 2 that's a 3. Possible redemption for Telsbot. Sir Pega accidentally fat fingered his key there, as you see in the chat. But again, Alpha clean up Django. That shotgun can't do much more when you're dead. This is the ace clutch from Bot to win the round, but nothing more. The quad kill as the drop from the hat from Pocket comes out. Proxic, whatever his name is, Thermite. It will be nothing more than a quad kill as the clean up from Sledge, taking that one out.
That's the most chaotic round I've seen in a while. Just stroll right up highway here. No problem. No one's really paying attention. We've got cams on it, but you know what? No one's on them. So let's just walk straight up here and just kill as many people as we can in church. Just completely out of the game. You mentioned that might be a voice chat issue, but it's just like they're playing. It's almost ranked. It's like they're playing completely separate. They're not really communicating, and the hatch is one of the big things on Clubhouse. If you're gonna ban Habana, AOG banned Habana. So, like, that's a very obvious ban why she's been brought. She's brought because she makes it into every lineup pretty much in club because they know that if they go to the bottom floor, they can just put as many of those pellets onto that hatch and open it. Eventually, it'll open. You'll waste all the impacts and, someone else can maybe come and open it, but you'll waste so much time. And they've banned Habana, and they've not even bothered to reinforce the hatch and then maybe play off the impacts. They brought the impacts as well, and it's like they've got an idea, but they're just not even really bothering to put any effort into actually executing anything. And the attackers are almost getting... It's quite shocking in terms of the way it's playing out. It's almost like they're just like... They have an opportunity, they just take it, and they almost can't believe their luck. They're like, I'll wander up that long corridor. There's so many cross angles, but there's not a single person watching them, and it's a couple of times that I've felt that the defenders have almost gave them the round there.
Yep, and heading back to the... I'm just disappointed. Invictum. They're bringing nades, but no buck. They do open garage door, having some presence there, but again... Yeah, Alpha, you're doing the right thing. You're going beneath. Sayonara, finds Apache. That's kill you want. Geico, add on to that. Proxic falls. 5v3. There you have it. I mean, that's what you want. Aggressive play coming out from AOG, but again... CCTV, still the West side, can't change my mind, even if they do win this round, to make it that 3-3 half. Obviously, Invictum. Wait, how has he just walked into garage? Sorry for that hiccup, but how is he... They know he's there, but he walked through that garage beach, but how is he allowed to do that? AOG, lacking. But obviously, Sir Pega, he is hard spot for a reason. And can't finish off his kills. That was a joke, by the way.
Yeah, I understand. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a pretty funny fixture so far. That was another example of Sir Pega just being able to wander into somewhere, and that's one of the times where you kind of catch yourself in a scenario where you're like, oh wow, wait a minute, I've actually been able to get this far and nothing's happened to me, and then you kind of don't actually really know what to do because you've got... I mean, he was all the way pretty much an opportunity to get up the staircase and get Rafters control. He chose to take the gunfight with the player down the lounge, which is a questionable decision as is, but it is what it is. And he had the opportunity to go up the Rafters because the Capcan wasn't really paying attention. Tales on the boat had no idea he was below. And there was an opportunity missed there. It's been a funny fixture so far. It's not Alpha's down, dealt with, and 5 versus 1 now. Sayonara is able to have a good round so far, and it seems as though if they're able to outlive the first 30 seconds in the round, they're able to have a good performance, and eventually is dropped side of bar. That shock that comes out on top. Now a 4 versus 1 scenario, and the diffuser's down inside the bar as well, and it's not looking great for Shock on the Ayana, despite having 2 needs still in pocket and a good gun in hand. Not quite able to try and isolate these players. Does cook a nade and try to find someone on the top floor, but there's not going to be anyone on the other side of that nade that will be receiving it, and holds the angle towards the lounge door, waiting for anyone to rotate through, but no one's going to invite the pressure. No one's really going to push onto him because they don't really have to. 30 seconds on the clock, and they know for a fact that if they just lie and wait, which is exactly what the player in lounge is doing, lying prone to the left, and likely going to get himself a free kill here, but the nade's cooked and it's going to be sent through here, and it doesn't quite land the shot, but eventually it does actually get the down somehow onto Gecko, and now it is a decent enough scenario for Shock, but he's just not able to do anything. Not enough time on the clock. His squirt is holding a nice angle from above inside of CCTV. kills a player through the vertical plate, and that is another round for the defenders. And it's definitely a strange one.
Yeah, AOG gonna be on the attack now as Invictum heading onto the defense side after a strong half. And, you know, this is looking more in favour of Invictum in my eyes. If you don't go CCTV, you go Jim Benju or even Bar Gaming, you will win this game, and I can bet on that. That's what I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the copper like, banner, Ash. If you're not running the R4C, I would take everything back and find where you live and hunt you down.
I can see that you've reached caster delirium after casting for hours, so I'm just going to allow it.
Oh, you think that's bad? I've done a BO5 with 3 rehosts and so many technical issues. It was the finals as well. I was at that episode and you're saying now, that was disgusting.
I feel you.
And we were so out of it. We were talking about Minecraft on this map. I remember it. There was some guy pushing me, so I was talking about how life is like Minecraft and R6 is like Minecraft.
Well, I would add on to that, but I've been told to keep you on track tonight, Squishy. I'm told to keep you on track because I know I know you've been casting for a little while, and I know that you tend to stray off the subject a little bit. And we're not quite playing Minecraft tonight. We're playing Rainbow Six Siege, even though it does feel like we're playing a little bit of Minecraft with some of the rounds that we've seen so far. The Valks playing inside of Strip Club, waiting for someone to come through there. And it's going to be himself a free kill. That is Proxic able to get Geico there somehow, and even though they were spotted on a drone, wins the gunfight anyway. It doesn't really matter. They have the information, but
Do you want
Proxic
to know
gets
why
it anyway.
Geico lost that?
Go for it.
Didn't have R4C.
You're correct. You did point out. You did say that the FLC would come back to bite them, and that's exactly what happened. G36, people just leaning on the 1.5. You mentioned that you don't really like it. You prefer the halls, and sometimes
Especially
it's just
yeah, with like when you're playing first entry, obviously if you're playing hard entry, ACOG's just the way to go. Nothing more to say about it. 2 times if you really want to be ACOG. If you know how to use it, it's like just don't go in between when you're playing entry. You're playing those close quarter gunfights. You don't want to go into. You don't want to zoom in so close that you're looking into their like particles of their face or something. Like nice and simple, hollow on the head, and as I said, it came back to bite him. Obviously, Sayonara doing the best thing, not running the G63C. Gotta love that, and that's why he's on 7 kills and Geico's on 4. He's running Nomad, he's been the Shiko loadout, and that's why, he's just fucking better, but it doesn't matter. Serpega takes out Squirt, that is just one name to have. Obviously, 2 refrags, Sayonara and Django. This is completely switched around in Victim, getting a bit too comfortable. Getting a bit too big for their boots, as I say, is, caught off guard. 3 vs 3 from a 5 versus 3.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be too detrimental as of yet, because that's just the roamers that are gone. Likely, you want to get them back to site, ideally. If you want to get them back to site after getting a good result, getting a couple of picks, that's ideal. But, they've dropped a couple of players. They've dropped the Ash, they've dropped the Bucks, so that's at least some of the vertical gone. So they have to rely on the close quarters vertical, playing with the sledge. They don't really have any C4s, though. They've chosen not to bring in, except they did have it on the mute, but Serpega was dropped early. So, yeah, need to get the hatch open, need to get things moving here. 44 seconds left on the clock, and the pings are coming out, and it does look a little bit tiresome because they need to get this hatch open. They need to get themselves in the position for an execute, and it looks as though things are going to get spicy. There's 30 seconds left. The nades are coming through. They're still trying to nade people, and there's still less than 30 seconds left. Shock takes quite a bit of damage because of it, and the hatch is still closed. They're going to have to rotate. They're going to have to drop somewhere. Moto is the point of entry, and the flashes come through to try and find anyone inside of church. The drop's going to have to come, though. 15 seconds left on the clock. Prone angle from Sayonara, though, not able to land the shot. Somehow misses every single one. And now the prone from Tails is going through towards Memo. But everybody just seems to not really know where they want to go from. A kill is found. It leads it down onto Apache. 2 versus 2 just runs in. Shock's able to find that from behind the bomb chassis. And the attackers really just wasted too much time. And the defenders win the round out on that one.
Well, I think, the defenders wasted the time for the attackers. I mean, obviously, finally the impact tracking being used. That was why the Romai was there. Impact tracking. They couldn't get that hatch open. If they did, it's a complete different story. And they finally listened to me, to the people. I'm saying me. The wise old men, which know everything.
The wise.
5,000 hours of R6. Not going down the drain.
I have heard that you've got 5,000 hours. I have been told that. That's how long you've been playing. You've been playing
Yeah.
since you were 6.
I know. I think I've actually been playing since I was like 10 when I first downloaded the game. I think one of my first maps was actually this, and I was like playing Echo. It was because my first operator I opened was Fuse. I loved him. I didn't really
Jesus,
understand.
wow.
I didn't understand what his gadget did. Like I watched the video, you know those videos which you get when you open. Didn't understand what was going on at all. I thought like because it was in like reverse, like the clutch charge was in reverse. I
Yeah.
thought like he sucks up people. I had no clue what was going on. I was just and I was so confused of what was going on. Like, oh my gosh, I'm actually done. I'm like, oh my god. I could just cause oh my gosh, I'm done.
I think we've lost Squishy for a minute there. I think he's gonna have to go for a lie down after he's just admitted that on stream to everybody that he didn't understand a Fuse charge. But I'm sure he understands it now, and I'm sure that he has a good understanding of the competitive scene. Of course, we're on the CCTV now, and it's his most hated site. So we'll see if we can get a good performance from the attackers this time, and see if we can get them up and running to get them into a bit of better position, because it wasn't the greatest round we've seen from them there. And Sayonara doing the entry working towards Jim, of course, has the Ayana and the ARX even, trying to go on the hunt to find any of these roamers, but there's no one up there as of yet. Drones are coming through, the information as well as trying to gather some info to see if anyone's going to go for that flank, and there's no one to go for it just yet. Just going to wait for a little minute just to see if anyone does do that, but there's a minute gone already, and they're in towards that bedroom area. Apache's playing inside of construction and will be faced with the gunfight with Sayonara should he push all the way, and he's in here on his own. It's interesting that he's chose to do this on his lonesome while the rest of his teammates attempt to get the main breach open, which we still haven't been able to get open. We're almost a minute and a half on, and the main breach isn't open yet. So they're taking their sweet time. At least they did this in the last round, and you've seen it cost them quite a bit. Down below the sledge is trying to find someone, though. Django's able to at least find a little bit of damage and find shock, and now Serpego, though, with an immediate refrag, pops down the staircase, and that's at least one of the nades dealt with. And now, again, I'm just going to keep criticising it. I think that the issue is that they can't get things done quick enough. Eventually, they do open up that breach. It is done. It's a minute and 20 seconds on the clock, and I don't know if it's going to be enough time for them to get an execute done, as the C4 was sent out quite quick onto that main breach. It doesn't find anyone, and now they're just going to tease a couple of gunfights, see if they can find anyone on the overpeaks, and a little bit of damage done to Proxic. Apache takes a little bit as well, just from a sidestep of a nade, and Geico takes quite a bit of damage inside of construction, finds the gunfight with Serpega, and now it's a 4 versus 3 scenario, but immediately refragged it's Proxic to find Sayonara, and that's the Ayana gone, and that's the hardest hitter for this map of Sayonara dead to the rights. And Geico, not in a great situation for HP at the moment, and 3 versus 2 tails from the bot finds Apache, and the attackers look to try and get the control that they need inside of the site and see if they can get themselves an execution here. But It's Not Alpha at least knows that someone's going to come through that breach at some point, because there's 30 seconds on the clock and they need to get pushing. Proxic holds on to the red staircase. There's someone down below. If they're pushing into that, then Proxic will win out, goes for the swing, does a little bit of damage onto Squirt, has a C4, sends it down. At least it's going to waste some time. It's Not Alpha still peppering this breach, knows that they're going to have to try and push in to get an execute done at 18 seconds, now 15 on the clock. The flashes are coming through. The push will have to come. They're going to have to get it sent in here. 3 versus 1 though, as Geico finds Proxic now. That's the Valk dealt with. But is the clutch still here for Alpha, who knows they're going to have to go through the beach, but they've managed to sneak past. The plant is going down, and Geico with a final shot into It's Not Alpha, and the attackers are able to run away with this round and find themselves another one up on the board.
Yep, and again, another strong round from what we've seen from the attacking rounds as a whole, and that's how you attack CC. Obviously, could have done a bit better, maybe putting a bit more pressure on CC and Garage. If one person was like Garage, that last bit, one might wouldn't even lasted any longer. Is that HyperX Quadcast?
Yes, it is. I forget that you can see my camera.
Oh no, it's just I was actually thinking of getting one.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're alright, especially because I prefer it when it's on an arm.
Yeah,
instead of like in front of you. When I'm 2 centimeters away from my monitor, 2 inches. It's in the way. But obviously, apart from that, heading on the side of Invictum, they're going gym bedroom. I said the wise words: if they go here, they will win the game, and they will win this round and the entire game from now on. Maybe not the Legion, but it will work. They're extending to CC, which is a variation of this setup, which we all know is like a default setup, and they will play that frost shield up top. Love to see this variation being expanded and changed for every different team. and we'll see how it works out for them. As AOG, they're going to be walking straight into it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see them going for that. It's an interesting one. There's a couple of good operators in there. I like seeing the castle extension. I do like a lot of castle. I think he's one of the better operators in terms of map control. It's always nice to have. So Pega's getting a little bit aggressive and maybe just teasing the players inside the garage, and exactly that. Finds Squirt for free. That's all of the buck utility gone, but doesn't realise there's a player in secret. Just the siege time in there. Looks away at the wrong time, and Geico's there for the immediate refrag. So whether or not that's a good play, we'll find out in just a second. Is there still a player lurking above inside the CC? And it looks as Geico is on the hunt. He seems to be in a pretty aggressive situation, and it's very interesting that he decided to run the holo on the G36. You mentioned it a couple of times. You'd rather see the R4C, and I think for having the
Hollow will do.
I think Holo will do, I think. Yeah, a holo, that'll at least satisfy 50% of your needs, I think.
Make that 40. I'm joking. Obviously, AOG gonna get this breach open soon. Geico's already gonna be in this rafters, heading on to our window, rafters window, and yeah, as we see from this bird's eye view, which Epsilon's lovely presented us for, no presence in cash CC side no longer, not even construction, apart from the Logi hold on construction, deep ladder door. But apart from the presence from highway, Invictum, they're safe and sound, to be honest. Sayonara trying to watch the flank, but again, Sayonara, you're waiting, I think, a pretty long time, because Invictum is safe and sound inside. They're not looking to go anywhere anytime soon. Sayonara, you see him on your bottom left screen. Moving out now, Alpha. Oh, caught off guard by a second Geico. He's able to actually sneak up here. He's walked past this first level. Oh, the timing! Alpha, a second late. Any Geico would have found that, but obviously, what can you say? C just goes in the way of Alpha today. Sorry. And with 55 seconds left on the clock, Alpha got that first kill on this, start of an execute, which AOG is trying to build up. Nade from Django. Obviously, Alpha's not any default. He'll hear that nade, he'll drop straight back, safe and sound. Hear the nade again, and it will just hold the other angle. No highway presence anymore, so the rotation for Invictum. But what? Django, that's a booty play. Alpha caught off guard. Django still 1 HP though. That Legion might catch him guard. Proxic, he'll take that easy gunfight and win him out. Bot trying to, replace him as he might go into Logi, but again, there's nothing more. Is that Frostbite there? No, surely not. No. 2 vs 2. Bot just found a Pashy. Time is going to be ticking. 15 seconds of the clock. Bot just had to feature Sayonara. He's coming up for a stage. He's walking to a Banshee. What is this time management? Sayonara, get in there. It's already too late to plant the bomb. Bot's alone. Sayonara, you've left him to die. Legion Mine can't even plant Sayonara. That is... Oh, no. What? Oh. Sayonara, after being able to finally pronounce your name, you might as well try and really do something. I don't know what I'm not trying to be mean, but what was the idea? I don't know. Where was he? Was he watching?
Still watching the flank. Yeah, watch the flank for the full time.
No, that's actually quite bad. That's actually quite bad. I maybe expected a late flank, but obviously.
Yeah, I don't like to criticize people, but at some point you need to accept that maybe you should move. Maybe you should go and help your teammates at least a little bit with the push. No one really went for the flank. No one really cared about going for a flank. They were just happy to sit behind their shield, sit behind their utility, and wait for the pressure to come through. And they went out because of it. So Invictum looking relatively comfortable after what was not the greatest attack from AOG. And I'm hoping we can get something a little bit better. We almost seen an IQ coming out there, but instead we go back to the Ash, and it depends on how we want to play. Of course, you've mentioned a couple of things you want to see the R4C coming out. I don't think we'll get to see it. I think it's just going to stick on the G36. I think the whole time.
IQ is banned right now. Is that because of the glitch? I heard about it. You can see through walls basically. You can He's in quarantine just like COVID. Wait, Dave.
Yeah, it's still banned at the minute, so I'm not 100% sure. But Django is able to find Proxic. What's happened there? It's the same idea as before. Proxic just trying to be a little bit aggressive and is punished for that. I think it's inside the secret potentially. I'm not 100% sure where the kill came from, but dropped nonetheless. That's the Valk gone, and with that, a C4 is taken off the board, so there'll be no avenue for that to be played later on in this round. And of course, it's an important site. You need it. It's the bottom floor. It's church. That's exactly when you want your
E4.
C4s.
Oh no.
Not ideal.
That's a good point.
Not ideal. Sayonara, though, on the entry this time, and hopefully is a little bit less static and moving through towards gym and clearing through the map and trying to get some of that control that they need inside of kitchen. And that's exactly what they're going to get from that push from Sayonara, who's going to just get on the drones, make sure they can help the teammates get some more information at the bottom of that main stairs area, and hops down after it as well, just to see if they can get anyone that's going for any rotate a little bit early, or see if they can catch anyone not paying attention to the Moto. Serpega's able to find Django, and that's at least a late refrag that comes through. 4 versus 3 now as Squirt finds Serpega with that refrag, and now it's not looking as good for the defenders, who were in a decent position a minute ago, and it drops away. Not ideal. The impact needs are still
Never
there
ideal.
for the minute and a half, though. Action
I've-
needs to be opened, and we need to start getting a move on for this attack, I think.
I mean, if Squirt and Tells from the bot don't work together on that kitchen edge, it's an easy job for Alpha. With Impact still left on the board to find any kind of a breachy potential left, even if it might be a church triple. Sorry, it'll take a while for me to even render. Yeah, church triple. We might see in the later part of the game, but with how time has been working out, Sayonara finds Shock. He'll use that to his advantage, and you know, Geico, you might want to listen and go Alpha C and or do something more Striker related. But apart from that, 2 versus 4, Alpha and Apache. But even 100 HP, Sayonara, he is very low, but his presence enough is still there. And obviously, we've seen a lot more drones on the side of AG than we did on Invictum. Something just point up there on your left-hand side of the screen. More drones on the board. But the drop is going to come out 1v4, nothing more of it. Clean up from Geico. Apache, Alpha, full 2 kills to finish that round.
Ooh. Okay.
Do you want to peek anymore?
Yeah, well, I heard you. Certainly been listening to the comms. Certainly, maybe, and there's a ghost just came through and listened to what we were saying, and or maybe popped into the stream and just knew exactly before we were going to say it that play a little bit more aggressive and bring a little bit more to the party, and that's exactly what we done. Heard your criticisms and gave us a double kill to end the round, and now we're 5 each, and it looks as though we're going to get a little tick pause just while things are, they're able to try and sort something out. I'm not 100% sure what the issue is, but we're going to get that. And I think someone's just reconnecting. I think they're maybe having an issue with their ping or whatnot. They're just disconnected, so they're going to be back in just a second. But we can discuss it a little bit. It's felt like it felt like it shouldn't be back to like kind of the same score, but it is. I don't know if you get that feeling.
What do you mean?
Like it's 5 each, and it's felt to me that like it's.
I call it. It's just like ping pong. I mean,
yeah,
it's just back to someone. But the reason why I don't always feel like it's the same, because the mistakes really do make a big difference. Because this round is match point, and then there's no second like safety net. If you lose that round, you're gone. I don't know what it's. I think it's just a group. I don't even know what's on this line. I think it's just with 2 people out. Okay, so we've been informed from Epsilon. I know exactly where he lives. His real name is Jamal Leonardo Bonacci. That's his full name. And I'm not joking. I'm not laughing. I'm not messing around. And obviously, Epsilon will type in chat. You have 1 minute 30 left. I mean, we can't even be here for ages. No, it's not. He's lying. If you can hear him. But obviously, we don't want to be sitting here for ages. As we were talking about more about school, there's no safety net. This is going to be it. As I said, I don't really know what's on the line of the game. It's probably not that big. But obviously, in Invictum, the defensive side, they have this advantage. And if they're able to just avoid CC cash, no matter how rough AOG's attacks have been so far with time management and trying to execute their ideas, just stay away from that site, because it will come back to bite you. And I actually can see the future. I'm a future seer, and I actually know everything. I'm like God, you call me. but obviously it's just one thing to watch out for. And Invictum will run there again, same lineup, same site, same idea. Proxic, try not to be as toxic. Rhyming couplet. Yeah, but just don't go for the spawn peak. You have a C4, and as Cham said, it's so important on a downstairs site.
Yeah, there really is. They've only brought one C4 as well, which I'm quite surprised. They've brought quite a few impacts though, and I'm hoping we'll see some impact play. The thing is it's not really been that great. I've only seen one real good impact trick, and it was that one. And I think it was the other side of the attack when they were trying to basically get from kitchen, and it was pretty well done. They couldn't deal with the Wamai, and they were able to win the round because of it, and it was pretty well done. So I want to see something like that again, and they're able to at least use their utility to their best potential, and we'll see if people can outlive the first 30 seconds of the round, because there's had a couple of rounds where people have been dropped pretty quick, and Proxic has generally been the one on either side of that, whether he's been opening up the scoreboard for his team or whether he's fallen early himself is not going to be the case this time. We have the Solus on the board, and Solus hasn't been as impactful as what she could be, I think. You really need to play around the Solus a lot more, and most people just shoot some drones and then really just rely on a gun, and not a lot of people are actually getting the full utility in terms of plant denial and looking at, if you want to hop out a window, you can tell that there's a claymore on it, an air jab or whatnot, and it's one of those ones where I like to see the Solus be utilised a bit more. I don't know.
I just want to see Brava, really. I mean, I
Brava would
haven't
be nice.
even updated my R6 since that update. As most of these new operators, they just don't really seem to fit in. Geico, the rush, Django. We'll find Proxy, as I said, getting too comfortable. He's caught off guard early off again. Main stairs is all in the hands of AOG. 2 free picks. What can you want more? I said Invictum were going to win this, but AOG, they're pulling something I haven't seen so far.
Yeah, they just got in the faces there, got a couple of quick picks in. But the thing is this is where the teams have been stalling out, and this is where both teams have had an issue. The mid-round area, they've been quite sluggish in getting that utility done. Like, they've just got the control of main stairs and then given it up to go and help on the top floor, when really you should just keep a hold of that. You've done the hard work, you've done the job to get that area, and Sayonara's just going to come out and drop his life because it's not Alpha's ready for it. Knows that there's going to be a player around about that area, and they just got a little bit overzealous, pushed towards that church area, not really well to check it, and they got lulled into a false sense of security there, and they're dropped because of it. And still below, trying to do the impact trick. Look at this, it's not Alpha. Just I'm inside the church. I'm just going to pop through here for a minute and get rid of
it is
Django.
Alpha?
I don't really want to deal with that anymore. And another impact trick as well, and it's a performance in the life. Doesn't quite land this time though. 38 seconds. So much time wasted, and the hatch is now eventually open. Now the smoke babes will come through to at least prevent that drop at this moment in time. Shock hiding just behind that dummies area. It's a 3 versus 3 scenario, and this is what I was criticising the mid round was where the issue is. But Geico gets aggressive. It's a triple kill for Geico. He's looking for the quad this time. He drops the hatch, he gets himself a double, and it just seems to be time and time again. This is what he does best. Pops down that hatch, gets himself a double, and is looking to win the round out. But it's not awful. Certainly have something to say about this. Already in a heater this round. He finds himself a triple as well. It's a 2 versus 1 scenario, and looking for the ace potentially is. Still doesn't have a great situation in terms of the HP, but the coverage is there. The diffuser is, of course, on and cooking. There's 20 seconds left on the clock, and they're going to be on the coverage at least to this, and surely they know exactly where Alpha is, and he's going to go straight on the diffuser, try and bait it out a little bit. Swings the player aside of Dirt, but can't quite land the shots. It's Geico to find himself a quad, and AOG go on to match point.
OG, exactly. This is why I say it never really feels like it's back to 0-0, because that's the safety net. It's been used. Invictum, nothing left to save them apart from themselves. AOG timeout. I actually love that from AOG. Oh, are they not allowed? Oh, they called it last round.
Oh well, march on. We'll continue
okay,
talking.
okay. So no, I actually like this from AOG. They've stopped the momentum from Invictum from obviously what momentum, because AOG just won the last round. They've just stopped the thought of process from Invictum. They stop Invictum from just thinking about what exactly was happening. They don't go into the exact same round. It gives AOG just time to really lay out what they did. And Invictum, they're a bit like, they're on the back foot. They're scared. They're the one who's about to lose this game if they make one more mistake, and it just gives more Invictum to think about. That's what I like this call up from AOG. You would expect it from a team from the other side to stop the momentum of AOG from winning the other game. But again, you've got to think it from both sides, and if that goes in the way of AOG or Invictum, we'll see from this next round on the next episode. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we've still got at least one more round, and I think to be fair, I think this has overtime written all over it. To be honest, the way the game has been, it's almost been like the first half anyway was like mistakes on one side, and then one team has capitalised them, and then it just basically flip-flopped with that the whole way through. The last couple of rounds, though, have been a bit more exciting because we've had a couple of players just actually stand up and put their team on their shoulders a few times, and we've had a few great rounds. Geico is the one to mention there. He's certainly heard your criticisms of him bringing the G36, and he wanted to at least make you eat your words a little bit because he's been able to get at least a double kill every single round since you said that, and he's making you... He's definitely heard you at least.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how you enter.
That is exactly how you entry. 14-6 so far on the map and having a wonderful time. And it seems to be just the formula is open. As soon as the hatch opens, he just drops it and gets himself a couple of kills, and that's basically it. That seems to be the formula so far that's worked for AOG, and they've got themselves a match point because of it. But the defense is still to be done. There's still work to be done here. Invictum are going to bring along the castle, the frost as well, and it looks as though they're going to go for a pretty similar setup as to what they did the last time, and it was relatively successful they had with that. And they've brought this Wamai and Jaeger a lot. We've seen that on both sides, actually. The Wamai and Jaeger have been brought so much tonight, and I think that we've never really found too much of an effect. There's been quite a few nade kills, and we've never really had that much.
There's been a mistake.
So, go for it.
Oh, wait, that has not been the mistake. I thought they were bottom floor, and I just thought that they had no impacts left for impact chicken, but they're not even bottom floor. That being said, it's not Alpha finds Sayonara. It sounds like I'm in an anime right now. Yeah, he finds Sayonara, and again, this CC extension in which AOG trying their defense, Invictum have tried it on their defense, but they haven't extended to CC. They've extended to cash. They're playing it nice and safe to make it so AOG have to do something. But Squirt, all he has to do is get a nice angle. 1.5 doing much, but I bet he could have done it with a red dot suppressor. But obviously, Thermite trying to come in here. Apache, what are you doing? You're having a rough time, but I mean, 2 and 10. There's something about, you know, having a bad day and then just being absolutely brain dead. 6-5. This is match point. As I said, no more safety net. Sarpega, your team is dead. I know you're trying to find those picks, but come on, make it safe and sound. At least 2 versus 4. Sayonara might be dead, but Apache, Alpha, and Pega are all watching. They're not even watching cams. They're lazy. They are watching cams now. Thank you.
That kind of ruined your flow a wee bit there. 4 versus 2. I think you got distracted with the fact that no one was really watching cams, but eventually they have got onto the cams. And yeah, they're going around. They seem to be going a little bit of spectating. Maybe they've not got too many cams left. It really does depend. Shock inside the logistics office, trying to at least slow them down a little bit. A minute left on the clock, so there's still plenty of time for the defenders to bring this back. Proxix on the other side with the Legion as well, and those mines are at least going to stop them and slow them down a little bit. It's not going to stop Geico, though, who gets aggressive up the staircase. Doesn't care that there's a Legion mine hanging out with their foot. Is Proxix able to find Squirt, who's getting aggressive from the construction door, but the plant is going down. I don't think he's heard the sound cue, though, and doesn't know that Django's actually going for the plant, but Tails from the bot closes it out, and that is all she wrote for this match, as AOG take all of the points, and they win this 7-5.
I'm just dancing. Obviously, AOG, I mean, Invictum, I betted on them for winning. I said they were going to win. My wise words must have been, like, interrupted by the signals of BT Tower or something like that. But obviously, it didn't go in the way I expected it. I thought Invictum really had that on that defensive side and that advantage, which, you know, they really, a team does have, especially on a map like Clubhouse. But again, mistakes from both sides. I can go nitpicking all day. Anyone can go nitpicking when they go through the match replays and do that. And that's for something them to work on. I feel cruel after I just, you know, get in there. But, you know, I'm a blunt guy. I say it strong, and it only helps them to become better. I mean, a good game. We thought overtime was awaiting, but AMG, they don't need that overtime.
Yeah, I mean, it was a funny game. It was definitely a strange one. There was a couple of questionable lineups, a couple of questions setups, and a couple of questionable decisions made here and there. But it was fun. I think both teams probably had a good time at least, and it was exciting to watch. It was definitely exciting for me to cast with you for the first time. It was fun. I thought we had a good time. I thought it was a good game to watch. We do have one more game before we finish things up. We will go to a short break before. And I've just heard a year that
Never mind.
I'm utterly lying to you because the last game has been cancelled, so that is going to be it for tonight.
Off stream.
Wonderful for us to be here. It's been an enjoyable night, and my voice is thankful that Squishy dropped in for the second map because my voice was starting to go a little bit, and I think that it was kind of fun, and we both kind of reached a little bit of delirium because when you've been casting for 5 hours, that tends to happen.
Yeah.
But it's been fun. It's been exciting. And that's going to be it for Talent this week. And we're going to be back next Tuesday. Before we go, we'll just very quickly mention if there is anyone who is interested in joining Talent League. Of course, the closing the name is Talent League. We are here to further the career of any talent that could be out there. So if you want to try your hand at casting, I know there was a couple people in chat earlier criticising me, which is completely fine. I'm open to that. If you think you can do better, please come and do better. We would love to see it. We want to get you involved. Hit me up, hit Epsilon up, definitely hit Epsilon up. He loves getting shouted out in stream.
He
Make sure
children.
you're in his DMs. He loves it. But yeah, come and join us. Join the Discord. Search us up on Twitter, Talent League R6. But until then, enjoy the rest of your night and enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you later, guys.
Great night.
Bye.
Bye.